So I want to know who you think is going to win today's big game. You know, I didn't think about this. And of course, this is going to be evergreen content, and maybe not evergreen content if I start with the first thing, who's going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about great audio, not good audio, but great audio for your live stream or podcast. That's the idea today. But because we are live and in person and it's Super Bowl Sunday, Kirk, man, what are you thinking?
Man, I'm thinking that, listen, those who came to show up for this, they're serious. They can multitask. They've got probably the game somewhere around them, somewhere near them, but they're actually also thinking to themselves, okay, let me listen to what DJ Strick and Kirk are saying on the stream show, because I'm listening to this game and I'm listening to these announcers and their audio is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I'm listening to these commentators, and some of them are even on the field. I'm trying to understand, how are they doing that? So this is still relevant. In fact, I want to say this to those this is the stream show. And let me tell you something. There's no bigger stream than the Super Bowl. Okay. That's Super Bowl is the biggest live stream done on the planet every year. So you're in the right place. You are
definitely in the right place. And I have to say this. Of course, I love football, played football for a very long time. Super Bowl is not, this big game is not what it used to be for me. Now, of course, by the time we're done with this game, I'm going to catch halftime. And I think that portion of the game has almost started to outweigh the game.
Yeah.
You know,
I couldn't agree with you more. And I feel like this is such a microcosm. I think this is actually such a great, great concept, a great topic for the show, because even for your live streams, right, there is a point to your live streams, but it depends. What are people coming to your live stream for? And I think the Super Bowl is recognized like this is a family event. There's a lot of things that happen around it. There are shows that will launch immediately following the Super Bowl. There are ad campaigns that literally kick off today for the remainder of the year.
That's right.
People try to get back into black with the Super Bowl. This is a whole industry that has formed around people being interested in this game. People are watching from all over the world. I used to live in South Africa. I would get up at 2 a.m. and watch, you know what I mean, the Super Bowl. So I think it's such a great microcosm. If you're doing your stream right, there will be a shift in what your target is in terms of, okay, they came for this, but why did they stay? Why do they keep coming?
Right.
And you got to keep on being able to reinvent yourself and answer that question. And I'll be able to say this: what does not shift is your video could be shaky. You know, all these other things, all these other variables, but if your audio is not right, people will leave. I can guarantee, like if you watch the Super Bowl is on like 4 different channels right now. If you get to one channel where the audio is not right, guess what you're going to do?
You're going to switch to the next.
You're going to switch. That's right.
That's right. To the next. So don't think because it's Super Bowl that we just put together a recorded show. No.
No, we are live.
We are live. And I see you guys in the chat. Kathy, I see you in the chat. If you're coming through, definitely hit us up. We're going to pull those chats up in just a few minutes. Because for people that need help, like Kathy is saying, you know, it's important to get the information about how to have great audio. I mean, you see us today, I'm doing some things a little different in the stream show because I want to be able to teach this the correct way. And let me also start by saying that Laura Davidson of Shure, we're having to reschedule her guest appearance. So I apologize about not having her on the show today. We're going to reschedule her so she can come back. She's our Shure rep and one of my great friends in this whole streaming world, content creator world. She is a great support to the stream show and to Ecamm. And we're going to have to reschedule her guest appearance on the show. So today you get Kurt and I. And we're going to hold it down, giving you all the information that we have.
We will.
Now, I will tell you this. Let me say this. Kirk, everybody may not know this, but I've been doing radio and audio production for almost 20 years now.
Come on, man.
There's a
Let them know.
little bit of information I have. Now, the video piece is new. All right, I give you the video piece is new, but first the audio, doing radio, like radio in my city. Now I produce not a podcast. I almost call it a podcast. It's a syndicated radio show for my wife.
There it is.
So,
Yeah.
there are definitely things that I can help teach you how to do to be sure that you have great audio. And the changes that we've made today is just some of the small things that you may have to do to not have good audio. So good audio could actually be what's stopping you from having great audio. All
Mercy.
right? Yeah. Yeah. So if you're
Yeah.
doing a podcast, live stream, these are some things that you may want to be thinking about. And I'll start with what you see aesthetically on our heads today. Normally, I still have mine kind of like over my shoulder. So these are good monitors too, right? Kirk, these are really good monitors. They allow you to hear what's going on. Okay, they allow you to hear. These are more what they call in-ear monitors or over the ear monitors, that kind of stuff. It's going to have great sound quality to it. And these things are really, really cheap. You can get them with one driver, two driver. I mean, they're so sophisticated. All right.
They sure
and
are, man.
sometimes some of the ones that artists use on stage Shure makes those as well, and they are really robust. I mean, they have to be robust for them to be able to hear with all the music going on stage. They still actually are able to hear with these. These are not on stage in their monitors. Like these right here are not going to cut the mustard. This is in the studio for what we're doing for live streaming. And
absolutely,
what we're talking, $20-$30?
Easily, yeah, $20-$30 at max. These are really just for you to be able to hear what you sound like. And I want to be clear on that, because some people are like, no, well, I only use headphones to hear what's going out, to hear, or better yet, sorry, what's coming in. So I listen to my background music, I listen to my guest, I listen to sound effects, but I'm not necessarily listening to myself. And I want to be clear, if your monitor is for you to monitor, call them in-ear monitors, so that you can monitor what everything sounds like. And that includes you. And so if your monitors, if you have it excluded from your monitors yourself, you can't self-edit. I was saying this to a good friend. We were doing a podcast, and he was like, do I really need to wear the headphones? Because the mic's doing such a good job of picking us up, this, that, the third. I was like, yeah, but I will do less work in post if you wear the headphones, because you will self-edit.
Right.
You will self-edit. You will hear yourself. You hear your timbre, your texture, your tone. You know exactly how to push. You know how to drive. You can do your inflections, your rises and your falls. You can get quiet. You can get loud. You can get amped.
Exactly.
When you can hear all those things, you can self-edit. And that actually takes a huge load off of anything that you're going to be doing in post.
And you're right on top. You're right on it when it comes to these monitors and the over the ear monitor, which covers your ear. It will do what we call noise cancellation. So it helps me take out, if there were noise inside of the studio, I wouldn't be able to hear that. I'm hearing what's coming in here, giving me a better, clearer sound to actually what we call like studio monitors. Okay, so I can hear what's going on. There's nothing like not monitoring what's going on and being on mute, being too low, not being balanced with your guests. All of those things can happen when you don't monitor. Now, I will say this, because Shakanilu, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, he says, I was getting a little echo when he tried monitor. He turned his monitoring off. Now, with Ecamm, when you're monitoring yourself with Ecamm, it is a delay. And yes, you are completely right. To monitor with Ecamm, it will be echo. And what I suggest people do is that while you're testing, before you go live, you're testing your sound, you're testing your guest sound, monitor that. And then once you get started, first thing you want to do is turn that monitor off, because the echo that you would get, or the delay you would hear from yourself, that can be very hard to get around. Okay, now I'm
Yeah.
monitoring all of my sound coming out of the Rodecaster, which is in time for me, and there's no echo. And I'm hearing Kirk, and if we were playing
Yep.
music, I'll be able to hear that as well.
Boom.
And I actually, man, I pulled over some music to be able to play today, and I haven't pulled it out yet.
Well, but while you pull that out, I'll say this, Shaka, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be dependent on what program or what audio interface you're using. What audio interface are you using? And I want to say that to I don't want to everybody wants to talk about the Rodecaster Pro, but I'm pulling over my Shure MV7 right now. Okay, so this is my Shure MV7. I want to show you the back of this microphone, and on the back of the microphone, if I can hold that up a little bit, you'll see there's a headphone port right there. Right, there's a headphone port on the back of this microphone, and so all I would need to do is plug into this, and that allows me to monitor. So this has its own audio interface essentially built into the MV7. And so you can monitor here, and then you just set this microphone as your default speaker for your entire computer, and then you can monitor that way. It's going to be in time. It's not going to be delayed. You're not going to hear a quote unquote echo. So that will help you to be able to monitor real time if you so desire. Now, I mean, if you figured out your way of doing it that allows you, to turn it off. I don't use the monitoring from Ecamm unless I'm actually producing the show and I'm not in the show. If I'm in the show, however, I try to monitor from my audio interface. And hopefully that makes sense to you. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you.
That's what's up.
Turning off monitoring because there's an echo, it's just indicating that there's some other config that you can possibly set up to be able to monitor without the echo. So hopefully that makes sense.
Hey, let's go to some of these comments because I talked about what I wanted to talk about, which is why we have these big old headphones on today, which I have always used when I was in the radio. So to be honest with you, I didn't use these when I was in the studio, in the radio studio. Like I didn't even know about these things. It's this.
Yeah, you put on the and they call these monitors too. They call these monitors as well.
Micah, thank you for hanging out with us today. And I've been talking to him in the comments, man. So thank you for hanging out with us all. And Kathy says, no Eagles, no need to watch. Level up on my skills. So I'm hoping we're going to help you level up on your skills. Folks in my circle are always asking me for help with podcasts and audio. So I need to be informed. So yeah. So we've already started with some of the information. If you've heard something that you like today, please do us a favor. Hit the like button, okay?
Hit the like button.
The like button. Watching the game, trying to see if there's a camera catch Mr. Hicks. That's right. He is. James Hicks is out there, but I had to say hi. Well, there you go. Dan, thanks for coming through. And we've already talked about the monitors.
I forgot that Hicks was out there. That's so true.
Yeah. The World Cup in soccer is the biggest stream. Oh my God. Us Americans, like, what do we think? We only think about American football. We always forget that soccer.
So the reason there's a whole conversation around that foresight. There's a whole conversation around it. I'm not going to argue with you. Is the World Cup in football, regular international football, is that bigger? It's a far bigger sport. It's a bigger purse. It's a bigger everything, but it is absolutely not on one place. So let me just, I just want to say that part. I just leave it alone. You can watch it in multiple different places, multiple different languages, multiple. However, one of the things that makes the Super Bowl is that they actually contracted out to one broadcasting network at a time per year. So this year CBS has got it. We don't know who will get it next year. And so it's a little different. But I totally agree with you. I lived overseas for years. I'm Jamaican. I believe in cricket and football, real football, not American footballs. I love football, American football too, because I grew up in the States. But I'm just saying, I believe the way you do. But I'm also just contending that there is a slight difference there as well.
I get it. So using the Irish Stream Pro to monitor the live stream, I had an echo. Which settings do I use? Yeah, so the iRig Mic Stream Pro, I think it also has the headphones out of the back. Let me
out
know
of the
if
back
I'm
of
right
it.
about that. I
Yeah,
think that
I
was a
believe you're
USB
right.
mic as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's an interface. It's an interface, and you plug your mic into it. The iRig.
He said
Oh,
the
is it the mic? Is it a mic?
Stream Mic
Maybe.
Pro. I think. You know what? The best thing to do is to look it up.
Yeah, it's an actual mic. It's a mic.
Okay,
Yep.
you're looking it up. Great.
Yeah,
And
I
doesn't it
literally
have the
just pulled it
headphones
up.
in the back?
It does.
So you should be able to get a pure sound out of that. It should be giving
Yeah,
you real
you
time.
shouldn't be getting an echo. Yeah, it has headphones on it. IK Multimedia iRig Stream Mic Pro. Yep. 169. I'm looking at it on B&H, and I'm just looking at the back of it. Come on, B&H. You
Yeah,
really
the
not gonna
jack
give
is
me?
on the bottom.
Yeah, it's on the bottom right there. Okay. Yeah. Jack is on the bottom. Yeah. You should be able to monitor that without an echo.
That's this. Shaka, is that this mic? Oh, let me. Is that? Does it look
No.
like this?
No, it just looks a square. Has it looks square and it has that base to it.
I got you. Because this is the USB and it has the headphone jack there as well.
Okay. Right.
But anytime that you have a headphone jack on the microphone, you should be able to get a pure sound. Now, the other thing is if it's connected to anything else, because that is your interface as well. That microphone is also your interface.
Right.
That being said, we wanted to talk a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk
about having great audio. We got Kathy Walker hanging out saying she's here to learn. So let's learn some stuff. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's learn some stuff. So we talked about headphones. We talked about monitoring.
Right.
We did a mic show already. You know, I can geek out on mics, right? Let's not geek out on mics.
We definitely can.
Let's talk about whatever mic you are using. The best way, because there's tons of mics out there. Something's going to be good for your voice. When you get it, this is what I'm telling you. To get great audio, not good audio. To get great audio, don't do this. Don't sit the mic over here because you got a good mic and expect to get great audio. That's not going to give you great audio. Great audio, you want to get as close to the microphone as you possibly can to talk.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want to be close to it.
You can hear the difference. As you're talking, you can hear the difference as you go away from the mic and as you come close to the mic and as you kind of pass by the mic. Nothing irks me more than to see these videos where the mic is just kind of almost there like a prop. And you're wondering, like, maybe they're getting mic audio from a lapel or something, because why the mic would be in the shot and it's so far away from them, I don't know. But the more, close that you get to that mic, especially if you find the sweet spot, right?
Right.
And on these shores, it's right there, right? If you find that sweet spot, if you can speak, like, this is the reason why whenever you see my podcast, I have on the headphones, number one. Because I don't wear the in-ear monitors. I wear the over-the-ear monitors, and I will speak into the mic at the detriment of the video. Why? Because I'm prioritizing audio first. So some people don't like mic in shot, but if you really want to get good, clean audio, you could do something like what DJ Strick has, where you don't have this big boom arm, but you will still want to have that microphone placed where you can actually get right on top of that mic, because it gets even better.
I felt good the other day when I saw Rode had produced a table stand for the microphone.
Nice.
Did you see it? Have you seen it yet?
I did.
So I'm like, everybody's got these arms, and sometimes we could do trendy things and it looks good. In the studio. So when I was really in the studio on the radio, we had those arms, and basically you'll pull the mic to you. All right. I have, some stuff in here on an arm like that, and then you pull it away. So you're
Yeah.
talking, getting ready for the next song. I love this song right here. Usher's coming up in halftime. I wonder which song he's going to do first. You can check it out right here on 95.7 Jams. And then, your people in the studio, song is playing, you're doing something else.
Doing your thing. Yep.
You just go to something else, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the arm was really good. But in this case where I'm in the studio and video is a little more important.
Right.
Video is the being able to get the right height and then not take away. Okay, it's getting my chin, so you don't see my chin. There you go.
Right.
From the side field for you, it takes just a little bit of the side of the face. Either way, these things work and don't really take away. But if you can get to the right position of this microphone, monitoring what you're hearing, I just like the sound quality of it. I don't have to project as much, or I can get a nice rich round sound in my voice because I'm not pushing so hard. It's just so many things that you can do with your voice. Or if you're really cool with doing this, you know how to say stuff that is, hey, I'm telling you, you're going to love this. Wait just 1 second, because I'm about to share some information with you that's going to change your life. You see how I'm able to project, go loud, get quiet, go back and forth, with this thing, or go to the side, or if I'm laughing, I can get away from it and come right back to it. All those things are, the voice inflections, but it also shows a lot of experience at how to work a microphone. Who are really good with working microphones that you guys should study? Comedians.
Yeah. They do really good. You're right.
Comedians do really good. All right. So they know how to, they cracking a joke and they get on the mic, use the mic, or boom, they hit themselves with the mic. They're punching and they're actually hitting themselves with the mic, or they just grab the mic and hit the mic. They understand how the microphone could be used. And Murray's like, thanks for all that you do. Coming back after the football game to watch the replay. Please come back and watch the replay. We're here for all the people that can care less about the Super Bowl, but want to have great audio. Man, Kirk, I want to be honest with you. I'm going to say this and I get back to the audio.
No worries.
I really wanted to show up. I wanted to show up for the people.
Yeah.
And everybody's not into the Super Bowl. There's some people
not
that
everybody
really want this information, or, to be honest with you, community is important.
Yeah.
And on a day where everybody's doing stuff and, watching football, everybody's not watching it. Like, you're going to be able to see Usher halftime show for the next month or two. They're going to be playing it everywhere they can,
For the next year, easily.
And actually, we're going to be done way before he gets on stage. Trust me.
It's true. But you're absolutely correct. There's something to be said for, number one, consistency. Number two, being a person of your word. I mean, you said you were going to show up. You wanted to show up. I love that. And so I appreciate that, man. I think that's part of the success matrix right there for sure.
Well, it's one of those things that because, number one, thinking that we had a guest that was coming in and being able to talk about this particular subject is important to me, because as a whole, Ecamm is focusing on podcasts. Okay, our theme for this first quarter is podcasting, and whether it's video podcasting or audio podcasting, how you sound, and not just being satisfied with good audio, but pressing the issue to have great audio. All we want to do today, Kirk, is just really put the information out there, evaluate where you are. Are you getting good audio, and what do you need to do in the next step to get great audio?
To get great audio.
Okay. Yeah. Is it changing the headphones that you use? Headphones are all over the place. Is it changing this?
Or some of the inflections. I mean, you just said it, like studying comedians, that could be a whole thing. But I'd say this, I love what so K-Walk Comedy, Kathy says she got the USB pod mic. She likes the pod mic, but she ended up getting the USB version. And then her last response was, okay. I love the pod mic. She was talking to Shaka. She's like, I love the pod mic, but more importantly, and this is critical, I love the way my voice sounds on it.
That's
I
great.
love the way my
That's great.
voice sounds on it. That's critical.
And it's a
That's
great
critical.
microphone, you know?
It is. It is.
And she's also
It is.
agreeing with us about, comedians.
Yep.
Working the mic is key, and it can help you with the inflections of a joke. It really can.
Absolutely.
And it
Can help you land that thing.
help you land it, and more
Mhm.
importantly, help you connect with the
Boom.
audience in such a special
Boom.
way. And
Yeah,
that's the
that's
idea
important.
of having great audio, is allowing you to connect with your audience in such a way to where they connect with you, they trust you. So as you're giving information to them, they're connected with you. I absolutely love it. Great stuff. Great stuff.
So good.
All right. So as much as you can, Kirk, okay, and this is for people. This is another thing that's going to help you get great audio. We've all chosen to be wherever we are in our studio, or using whatever space that we can possibly use in our studio. It is what it is. Okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. How can we find ways to treat those rooms that we have? I have a friend. Oh my God. This young lady is knocking it out of the park. She started out on TikTok doing affirmations and was killing it on TikTok.
Wow.
And wanted to grow and do some more. And she went on to Instagram, start killing it on Instagram. And there was just some small pieces to where she decided to, in her home, to do her video, because she was giving great information. She was growing. I mean, one of her videos got over 1 million views on TikTok. But there is a echo in her content. That's not stopping her from getting 1 million views. I wanted her to get to the next place.
There it is.
It was
Got it.
so difficult because she's basically using a portion of her living room to actually do her videos. So, you can't really sound treat your living room, right? And she has high ceilings and all of this other kind of stuff. And I've come up with so many ideas. That's, portable curtains that you can use. You're going to do your video. Let's put a curtain up, and hide it. Microphone placement would be one of the biggest deal. Doesn't want the microphone inside of the shot. Like all of these things that I would tell you to do, nothing would work. At some place, I believe, just like you said, Kirk, the audio's got to come before the video.
Yeah, at a certain point, yep. At a certain point, the audio does have to come before the video.
It just does. Like I would sacrifice a microphone. I would sacrifice this look, or not having a microphone in my shot to get a better sound, because I believe, especially when it comes to affirmations or encouraging people, the audio is so very important.
Stupid. Yeah, it is actually getting more. It's getting heavier in terms of its importance and its weight, even more so now than ever before. So I would definitely, highly recommend that you look into it at least. I'm not saying throw out whatever else you're doing. I'm just saying be considerate, be mindful that your audio is definitely something you want to be paying.
There's so many things that you could do, though. I mean, if you can't treat the walls in the room, a portable board that you could build, that you can put right in front of you or right behind your camera. Okay. So I always tell people the first place I want to treat is going to be straight ahead, because if
right in front, right in
front, that's the first place I want to treat, and see how, if I treat right in front of me where the sound is going, how much of that space can I treat, and how does that affect the sound? Okay. And then from there, I would start expanding to my left and right, trying to fill those walls so that it didn't have something. I mean, when I'm saying a portable curtain that, something thick that could stop sound, I thought that was the coolest thing. I mean, even if you did have a wall divide that you just put a comforter over, you could put the wall divide, put it up, put a comforter over it, and you got you a sound panel You have some
Done.
room treatment done. Right. I mean, there are people that have gone as far as having what you call the sound clouds. And that's the next step that I think I'm going to put in my own personal studio right above me, just a little bit of a sound cloud, because front is good, but it could go up, and then my microphone is above me, so I don't want the sound coming back down.
Down. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
things, but the portable things, if you're in a space that you can't treat with sound panels. Everybody is not in a studio space. If you're in a
Yeah.
space, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, even in front of me right now is a window. But what I ended up doing, because I want to make sure that I'm controlling the environment in here, I have put blackout curtains on that window. But those blackout curtains double doing what you just said, because they are heavy. And so they have sound attenuation built into them. And so my sound is gonna die. When I'm talking this way, it's gonna die there. It's not gonna bounce back and come back to me.
Right.
So you that's a part of the reason why as you said, the room that you're in may not have necessarily have been originally thought of to be a studio. So you just kind of have to make the best of it. And these are some of the things, which some of the tips and tricks you're sharing now as well, Strick. These are some things you just have to be able to do.
And you have to pay for this. This is free information we're giving you about having
Absolutely.
good sound treatment in your space, because
Yeah.
it is these things that can make the difference of having good audio to then having great audio. I believe
Yeah.
that, as this young lady I was telling you a story about, as she goes viral with better audio, it is something that she could have for a longer period of time. Because those other
Yep.
things are going to be, oh, that was an old video. That was when I didn't have my microphone set right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah. That's critically important. There's uh yeah, something to be said for making sure that you make those investments. Another thing that especially if you're getting echo, if the room is really bright and you clap and you hear that thing kind of come back,
right,
um you my well, one of the things I always ask people is, what do you have on your floor? Is it tile? Is it hardwood? Is it laminate? Or do you have carpet? And if it's not carpet, can you put some?
right,
Or can you put
a
an area
rug.
rug?
Uh-huh.
Because all of those things will help to really deaden the sound in a room. I just finished up a studio build where they have laminate on the floor. So we put some area rugs down, and that helped. But we ended up getting the sound, the walls treated. We put some sound panels on the walls, and brother, let me tell you, you can walk into that. So it is such a stark contrast. Like, the guys weren't even done installing the wall panels, and I could already hear a major difference.
That's good.
So we're able to get a far better sound out of that room now. So just
And
just
it
just
can
thinking
be,
about your space. Yep.
sometimes it can be scientific, and it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it can be expensive. It doesn't have to be. Um, I've done everything from the $20 sound panels from Amazon. You unfold them, and you give them air for a little while, and they grow up, and you just place them along the walls. That's a first good step. Some of those sound panels, I'm for a client, I just had to buy, I think it was a set of maybe 20 panels.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm thinking somewhere around $1,500 is what I paid. I mean, but this is the real deal stuff. Not a
Yeah,
lot
not
of them, but
not the Amazon joints. Yeah.
yeah, not the Amazon, not at all. And so there's ways to do it. Be smart about where you place it. You want to think about what's in front of you first, where else your voice could be going, whether it's up or down. Kirk is correct. The flooring could make a big difference in your sound,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
you want to be sure. Just like he said, doing that clap test will make a big difference. Do you hear the echo from the clap, or does it
mhm.
stop? Um,
Doesn't stop. Yep.
and this is the difference in having great audio, good audio or great audio.
Mm.
Because if people are listening to your podcast, so let me give you another tip for monitoring your videos. If you always go back to your videos and you're watching it on your television, because you're like me and you like seeing yourself on a big screen, I'm
Yes,
sorry, I
sir.
just do. Or you're watching it on your phone on the go, but you're not using headphones. You're using your phone speaker, and you just kind of got the speaker going. You're not really monitoring your audio. You're listening to it, but you're not getting the true sound of your audio. And the reason why I'm saying this, just take a minute. Take a minute to think about the times where you did listen to tests on video from your television. People are doing
Hmm.
tests on audio, and you couldn't hear a difference between any of the mics or any of the tests because you're listening to it on television. You need to have headphones on, and when you put headphones on, then you're able to hear the difference. You need to do that for your own video
Mm,
as well. When you're
yeah.
going back and listen to it, get the monitors, monitor the video, and listen to it with headphones. You will be able to tell a real difference. And that's with even when you're editing. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm editing a
My,
visual.
you
Yeah,
took the words right out of my mouth. That is exactly what I was getting ready to say. I was working with a guy last week, and he sent me what he had edited, and I was like, man, bro, the audio is way too hot. Why did you boost it? He's like, oh, it sounded low to me. I was like, what were you using to
right.
listen to it? He's like, I just use my laptop speakers. I was like, no,
Oh,
bro.
no, my God.
No,
That's
no,
the
no, no, no,
worst.
no, no. No, that's
I don't I
that's
don't
worse than
care
even
what I don't care what kind of laptop it is. I mean, it could be $1 billion laptop. The
it
speakers
doesn't
on it are going to
matter.
be garbage.
Garbage. And even if they are quote unquote rated to be good, it's not going to have the same effect as putting on some monitors. So I told him, bro, listen to it back with some monitors on. And he did, and he was like, "Oh, I apologize. This is trash."
Yeah, yeah.
So he was able to adjust it, put it right back to Unity. I mean, just his stuff was in the red. There's so much. There's so many audio pieces. You can get good audio, and then depending on how you hear it in post, you can mess it up. You know what I mean? When you're ready to edit that thing to post it later. So there's a number of different facets and steps that you want to be able to be mindful of as you walk through the process to going from good audio to great audio. Yeah.
So you made mention of something I want to say too. And Kathy, if you got the Hexagon sound panels from Amazon, put them up.
I say put them up.
Yeah, put them
Put
up.
them up.
Like, listen, you just never know what difference it would make. And
Yeah.
again, you want to watch the placement of them. Put up a little bit, test it. Put up a little more in front of
Yep.
you, left and right, and then treat your floor. And I think you'll be just fine. I mean, sound waves are sound waves. Okay, they hit something and they come back. They hit a hard surface and they come back. They hit a soft surface and it dissipates.
Absorbs. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
you got any wood,
You're
if
teaching
you
now.
got yeah, oh man, come on, this like. I'm not charging for this at all. So if you got sheetrock, wood, or anything like that it could actually hit and then bounce back, those are the things you want to cover. I don't know what it sounds like now. I'm sure you have
Mhm.
good audio. What we're trying to do is have you get to great. And
And we
it's
get
those
to great.
small little tweaks that you could use
Yep.
to get you to great audio. And people say, man, what is that? You're doing all that with a pod mic? Yeah, I'm killing this pod mic game because you absolutely can. You can kill the
You know,
game with great audio with a pod mic.
so true, man. So true. One of the things that I always find interesting is when your audio is right, it's just right. It is, we're talking great audio. Generally speaking, unless they're an audio file, it just blends right in. When audio is wrong, that is the time where everybody, even the novices, even the people who don't really know much about audio, they're going to be like, I'm hearing something. I don't know what that is, but something's off. When audio is right, it blends in. It allows people to be fully immersed in the experience. That's great audio.
That's great
Great
audio.
audio. You listen to the radio and you're just like, man, why does it sound so much better than some of the other stuff? It's EQ'd right. It's coming out. Great
Let me give you another
audio
trick.
is a thing of beauty. Yeah.
Let me give you another trick, Kirk. So if you have people that are in your space, okay,
Mhm.
whatever it is in your niche, these are the leaders. All right, take their video and listen to it. Put
Mhm.
headphones on, listen to their
That's
video,
some, yeah.
what they do.
Yep.
Okay, and then listen to your video right behind
Mm.
theirs. Okay, so you get an idea of what their audio sounds like, and then get an idea of what your audio sounds like. And what you're trying to do is get as close as you can to a leader in your niche. All right. So, and I'm saying a leader because it could be that they've taken the time to already do all they can to get their audio together, and you're just trying to match it. All right. And I say a leader in your niche because
That's
you
good.
should be watching, you should be gleaning something from people that are in your niche, leading in those areas, understanding what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they sound, how they look, all of those things. So it should be something you're doing anyway. I just want you to monitor their sound and then monitor your sound and see where the difference may be, and then figure out how you can get it better. I used to tell people when they would come to the show, to my radio show, I would say, hey, I need you to talk as loud as you can. I can only turn you up so far. Okay.
That's it.
I can turn you down, but I can only turn you up so far. So give me as much as you can, talking to the mic, get close to it as you can, because I wanted to be sure that I get a great sound on them. But I wanted, you mentioned it before, if someone is distorted, like I can't edit distortions.
Nothing you can do about that.
Once it's in the red and it's distorted, there's nothing you could do. It's distorted. There's no way of fixing that. And if you did go into like Audio Audition and tried to fix the distortion, it would just come out sounding computerized. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So you always want to, I would say I can always turn you down, but I can only turn you up so far. That's what I used to say.
There it is.
I can always turn you down, but I can only turn you up so far. So get as close to the mic as you can and talk as loud as you can, and then I'll turn you down. Because what my idea is, I'm trying to get them right in between the yellow and the green. Okay, so if you're watching the lights, and for me, you know, some people would say, well, Ecamm, you can't really go by that. I can go by what I'm seeing in my Rodecaster for sure. And I'm trying to get in between the yellow and the green. So it goes into the yellow, but basically it's like 90% green. Okay, a little. If you are in to where it's 90% yellow, that's too loud. And
a bit loud,
ever go into the red, it's distorting. All right. So you never want to have audio in what you are doing to go. Now, there's some interfaces that may be a little different that's showing red or whatever, but that red light is built into the audio system to help you know that you are hot, or it will distort. So even if it doesn't distort, you are putting yourself in a place to where your audio could be a little unstable, and you do not want to do that. So pulling it back will help you.
Yeah. So there's so much that you're sharing there. I hope that people are hearing and resonating, because I mean, watching those levels, especially for, Kathy's talking about, helping people with their podcast and their audio right. You want to make sure that those levels are you're capturing in the right way. Let me say this as well. Especially for my podcasters out there, and even for those who do video production. I was listening to a breakdown from Omar El Takori, right? So Omar El Takori's just kind of, well, not just, but recently launched his own thing, and he's kind of has this thing called The Department, and he did a behind the scenes of, some of the stuff that he does in terms of creating his production. And he said something on there I thought was absolutely genius. It's something that I do, but it's just innate because I'm an IT guy and I always have a redundancy. But he has a mic in shot. I think he's got the Samsung Q9U or something like that. He's got a mic in shot on an arm of some sort. All right. He has a mic in the shot, but he also has everybody mic'd up with a lapel and recording onto the device as a backup audio. So he's always getting 2 recordings of audio. So he'll never have a scenario where he's finished a video podcast or interview or whatever, and he doesn't have good audio. He can choose between, I think it's 3 different audio sources that he's recording. He's recording on camera, he's recording into his Rodecaster Pro with the actual XLR mics, and then he's recording wireless onto, I think he uses Rode Wireless Pros. But he's literally recording in 3 different ways, because you lose that audio, you're done. You've
Right.
got to re-record the whole thing.
Right.
The
That's
whole
not
thing.
what you want at
Yeah.
all. So that's very
No,
smart to
never
have
want
some
that.
redundancies with the audio.
Yeah.
Because been
Yeah. I
there,
thought that
done
was
that,
very
brother.
wise. Yeah. Woof. Yeah. I came behind somebody who did a project and they were like, hey, can you edit this? And the person they clearly had never opened it up, because as soon as I opened it up, I was like, there's no audio. And they're like, no, that can't be possible. I said, man, there's no audio. No audio. It was like 3 episodes of this person's show. There was no audio on there, not even a
God.
second. And so they were devastated off of that. They were very upset with the person that recorded it. And, kind of boded well for me because I came in to clean up, but
Right.
it was a sad scenario. I felt for the guy who did the previous work because, it can happen, but you want to have that redundancy, and he didn't have that on this particular setup. So feel for him, but you always want to make sure you have those backups in place.
So again, we didn't talk about microphones because there's
Mm-mm.
several different mics you can use. We didn't talk about audio interfaces. There's several audio interfaces that you can use.
Absolutely.
But with all of this, these are some practical tools today to help you have great audio, for you to be very mindful about your space, to you to be very mindful about mic placement, how close you are. I love getting up close with this microphone, for you to be able to
Yeah.
monitor your audio very well. Like how are you listening to it, to be sure. I promise you, I'm going to use these for our stream shows. But if I really needed to get down into what this sound is, or even if I was editing the video, I'm going to use these over ear studio
Absolutely.
monitors.
Absolutely. For
And you
sure.
want to be mindful of that. Kirk, am I missing anything else?
I mean, there might be some we talked about the audio interface a little bit. You talked about, of course, monitoring that yellow, green, yellow, red, monitoring those. But I think one of the things that I would really caution folks against, if you do have audio interfaces, that you are mindful of the gain. There's this misconception all around, right? So you have your Rodecaster Pro, right? I'm trying to see if I can
Right.
show mine. I don't know if it'll work, but you have your Rodecaster Pro, and you have these faders, and there's what we call unity in the middle, right?
Right.
Now, when you push the fader up, what exactly are you increasing? that's the part I wanted to be able to kind of highlight for folks is what exactly are you increasing? So walk us through that part. I think that would be beneficial for some folks. What do you think?
Right. Because audio interfaces are all going to be different. They're all going to be different. But
Right.
most of them will have what they call a gain and then volume. Okay. So I don't care if I go old school mixer. Okay. Analog mixer. You have the top of the mixer give you the gain, and then you're turning up the volume on that particular mic. All right. So you're able to choose the gain inside of your Rodecaster Pro for the different mics that you have. Some of the microphones, like this SN7B, it is power hungry. Okay. So it needs more gain to push it. It needs more gain to actually push it than some other mics. So I'm turning up the gain inside of the Rodecaster Pro, and then the slider is the volume on that mic to go up and down.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the gain is set so that if, like you said, if you want to be at unity, you could be at unity and everybody could hear very well. It's kind of a nice balancing act, gain and volume, so that you don't hear any other noise. There's no buzz. There's no hum. This is where these over-the-ear studio monitors will come in, because if there is a buzz, if there is a hum, I have the noise cancellation by it just being isolated over my ears to be able to hear what's coming out of this mic. Okay.
Yeah.
So it can get detailed. I like to keep it really simple. Okay. What you do want to set it up, and really your gain set up for any mic that you have, you should only change your gain one time unless you're tweaking it. Okay. But once you set your gain on your mic, then you use the volume, the slider volumes, to be able to turn it up and down, the volume up and down. Okay.
Yeah,
And
that
again, there's several different microphones that are, or interfaces that are different, but they should have a volume and a gain button for each
should.
input.
And the only other thing I'll add there is I think what you just said is a masterclass in and of itself. And I know it can get a little technical, but let me give you one or two little simple things. Number one, if you are hearing a hum, make sure that your XLR cable is not next to any electrical cables, any
Right.
power cables. That's a surefire way to get a hum.
That's right.
Secondly, don't skimp on the XLR cable.
Don't buy cheap ones.
Don't buy cheap XLR cables, fam. Don't do that to yourself.
Why is that important?
There's so many different things, in terms of wind, shielded,
The coding
but
part of it.
the coding part of the cable. But the better the cable, the better the audio transfer from. I mean, literally, you're talking about the chain, right?
Right.
The chain is from your mouth to your audience ears. So all the things that are in that chain. And in my case, and in DJ Strick's case, we have the microphone, which is the SM7B. We have the XLR cable going into the Rodecaster Pro connected USB-C to the computer. Computer is yes, I'm in as a guest in Ecamm for DJ Strick. So that's going out in Chrome over to him into his system and then out to the stream. That's the whole chain. Well, you want to make sure that all the links in that chain are strong. And if your XLR cable is weak or cheap, it may still get you across the line, but you may just have weird things happen from time to time because you didn't invest in an XLR cable. I chased my tail with a client for a long while because their cable looked like it was expensive. But then when I really investigated or started to kind of pull everything down and just replace the XLR cable, all of the issues that she was facing was the XLR cable, all of them.
And I will tell you this, it is possible, Kirk, to even buy a new bad XLR cables.
A new bad, yes.
It's possible.
It's very possible.
And they could go bad in a week. You can get them out of box or cutting them out and connecting them, and it's possible that they could be bad. So
very much
you want to test it, do all you can to troubleshoot, and if it's bad, keep your receipt.
Keep your receipts, man. Keep your receipts. Yeah, I know a guy who's an audiophile. He's out of Maryland, and he creates his own XLRs. He doesn't play around, and he buys high quality stuff, makes custom to the length that he wants them. They're shielded, they're banded. It's high quality stuff. You can go really ham with your XLR cables, but we're not saying to do all that. What we're just saying is don't skimp. That's all I'm saying. For the novice, for the person who's just like, look, I just want good sound. You want to set yourself up to get great sound. Don't skimp on the XLR. Don't skip that part.
I love it.
Spend $400 on a mic and then you get a $5 XLR cable.
Come on, that's so true.
That's all I'm saying. Don't do that.
Can you give me an update on the big game real quick? Have they even started playing yet?
Yeah, they have. The update is the Niners just scored. So, and I believe that they had scored a field goal prior to that. So I think the score is 10-0. And I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for them to pop the score back up here. They're about to kick off because the Niners, like I said, just scored. So I'm just waiting for them to pop the score back up on screen here.
So I started out saying, Kirk, that this wouldn't be a long one because of the Super Bowl, and we have almost gotten to an hour. We've already did it. So I wanna keep it short. I want you guys to be and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Whether family's around, you want to watch the game. I'm preparing to see what Usher does. Who's gonna be there with them, and practice the dance moves and all the stuff that Usher does. Come on.
Let's do it. Yep.
And I want you guys to have a great Sunday. Like, we're gonna come back and do this again next week. You're not
next week's gonna be dope.
To Ecamm and the YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to the channel. click the bell for notifications so you'll know what's coming up and when we are live. But also you can go there anytime and see what are the upcoming shows, because I have some Ecamm fam coming through next week. Tatiana Rodriguez and Tanya Smith are coming to the stream show. We're going to talk about audience engagement, like some real tools that you can use to engage your audience while you're alive. I can always use that. Cheers to no ball game here in the UK, bedtime here at 1 a.m. I get it.
1 a.m.
I get it. It is pretty late. Hey, I'm sure they'll wake up. Tell me the score when it's up with. So Justin was here, and in Australia, this would be Monday morning. About, close to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So anyways, I can go on and on. Kirk, thank you, man, for coming through and for your insight.
Oh, absolutely.
I had a chance to watch you and Walter talk, man, and I was just blown away, man. I wish I could. I was actually working at the time, literally working at the time and listening to you guys, and it was hard. I had to turn it off because it was hard because I was so engaged to what you guys were talking about, and I really like the fact that we have a community of content creators that are experts at what they do. You are a true expert in what you share in your community.
Appreciate that, man.
How it all works is a great program. I support you in what you're doing, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Keep going with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really do. And listen, this is why we're here, man. We want to support the growing community here at Ecamm. Of course, what you're doing as well, DJ Strick. I mean, you underplay it sometimes, but I'm hoping that people really kind of catch the fact that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to this audio thing. This is not a game for him.
One or two things.
No, not one or two. This guy knows his stuff, and that's why I was so excited to be able to jump on here for today's show. I feel like audio is one of those sticking points. And if you really are stuck there, today's episode and some of the tips, tricks, best practices were shared, it is definitely going to get you across the line. I guarantee you employ what was shared today, your audio will trend towards great. That is a promise from me.
I love it. And Kathy, we appreciate you too. There are some people that are devoted, and I wanted to be here for the community one time for one stream live in the Ecamm fam. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to see you next week. Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.